Hey everybody, it's your friend Chris. I am back with another reaction video. Today we are going to look at the Larry Bird stories that prove that he was the best trash talker. I have not seen this video. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you for everybody who are watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, please do so. Definitely want to add more content as I go along here. I've heard, seen videos in the past where he is probably one of the greatest trash talkers ever. So I really want to see this video. So without further ado, let's check it out and see how awesome he was at talking trash.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles. Bird used to tell me, look here, like, you're supposed to be a great defender, right? And I'm going to make sure I tell you where I'm going to shoot the ball at. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face. And I'm looking at this guy like, he's nuts. I'm going to go shoot this jump in your face right there in that cone.
That's Gary Payton, and Gary Payton was great for his defense. He was a great point guard.
And it's going to be your Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it up and bust your head open. And that's exactly what he did. If he tell you you're going to hit a shot in a certain place, he's going to do just that.
Dominic was good too.
Been a better player each step I took. I was able to do a little bit more than the other guys. I had a green light. I could make plays. But I always knew early on, especially when I was a junior, senior high school.
Played at Indiana State, his college, and then Spring Valley's High in his high school career.
That probably the outcome of the game is going to depend on me.
Yeah, I interviewed Gary Payton, a venomous trash talker. And I asked him who the most vicious trash talker he's ever encountered. He said Larry Bird.
Oh, no question. Bird talk shit like we talk. Let me tell y'all something. Bird used to tell me, look here, like, I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucker jump in your face right there in that cone. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit. He told me, young fella, let me tell you something. I can shoot a jumper anywhere I want to. You supposed to be a great defender, right?
Gary Payton, he was great on his defense, and Larry would definitely call his shots on the floor when he played. That's what made him really scary. A lot of people can talk trash, but not very many people can back it up.
I'm gonna make sure I tell you where I'm gonna shoot the ball at. And I was like, man, come on now, you're not gonna shoot the ball. And so he said, I'm gonna take you over in that corner right there. You see it over there by my bench, right? And I'm gonna give you something, and it's gonna be this jumper. So he went right to that corner, and I'm up on him, I'm under him, and he said, young fella, what did I tell you I was gonna do? And he turned around, raised up, and it was all drawn. And I said, shit, I ain't gonna mess with you no more. He's the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats. They'll be always mentioning him. He was the shit. Yeah, shit, man. He'll give it to you any way he wanted to. Larry Bird was cold.
Bird didn't talk trash to you.
Oh my God, Bird talked trash
Charles
to
Barkley.
everybody. I always tell the story about Larry Bird. I remember him; he was cursing under his breath, and I asked him, I said, "Larry, what's going on with you?" He says, "You guys are being disrespectful to me." And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "You guys are putting a white guy on me." That's disrespectful. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. But he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me. Larry said, I'm insulted that they would put a sorry dude like you.
Now, Dominic Wilkins, he was the human highlight reel. He would get up and dunk, and he had great shots too. He was no joke for sure.
On me, he said, "No, I don't even want to play no more." He would drop the ball and take a turnover, and I was looking at this guy like, he's nuts. The story goes that when
he dropped the ball to take the turnover in a game. Who does that?
he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hansley, a white guy, a really good defender, right?
Okay.
They put him on Larry, and Larry was weighing his ass out. Absolutely. And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who was the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful. Put a black guy on me.
Who does that in a game? Runs by the coach and tell him to get him off him. Who does that? I mean, you're talking some serious trash when you're telling the coach to get that guy off him.
Because when he played back in the day, that's all he played against was brothers. So he was like, I had to torch his ass so they understand.
And Larry got on the roll, started shooting the ball. Every shot
Right
was
over
going
the
in.
apple.
Right? He runs by Frank Layden, who's
funniest guy in the league. And Frank is coaching, and Larry would say, "Hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench who can guard me?" He goes, "So nobody out here can." Frank looked down at the bench and goes, "No."
Who does that? Who tells the coach that? Seriously, and the coach let down and told him there's no one to guard him. I mean, that's pretty bad. I mean, Larry's a great player, but wow, it just blows my mind.
Along with Steve Jones and Rick Barry, this is Bob Neal. Just moments before the American Airlines Sheraton long distance shootout.
All-Star game is in Dallas, the first three-point contest, and he just starts looking at guys, doesn't say a word, and people are getting kind of nervous. Everybody's sitting there, everybody's real quiet. You knew the guys, but you never were around them. And nobody's really saying anything, so I walk in and look around, and then he finally speaks and says, "I'm just looking to see who's going to finish second."
And says, "I hope all you guys in here are thinking about second place because I'm winning this."
Excuse me?
Did you really say that? Who's playing?
Who does that? Who goes to the 3-point contest, walks into a room with all the other contestants, and asks who's going to be playing for second? I mean, that's putting a lot of pressure on your shoulders, even to say that. But Larry, he could back it up.
For a second.
Yeah, I did. I felt so bad.
When you walked in there, what were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all the guys?
I know going into that, whenever in the locker room, Robert said something that there's no way in hell I was going to win that three-point contest. So I knew right then I had to win.
That chick's had my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing. I've been
That's
practicing. My
incredible.
teammates said I wasn't going to win it, but I came back and lucked out, really.
Bird would luck out again the next year, but in 1988, it looked like his luck had finally run out. He certainly doesn't have that normal Bird rhythm going for him. Seconds remaining, has only 7, has to beat 15. That's 8, make it 9, and 10, and 11 as we're counting. 13,
Huge rack that time for Bird.
he's still got to drop one here quickly. 14, this is a tie for the money.
Yo! Larry Bird at the buzzer
He
with
knew exactly what the score was. He knew that ball was going to win the competition for him, and it's almost like he did it in dramatic fashion just to make it more fun.
He didn't even take off his warm up during that contest. He still had it on.
He knew
Wow.
it when he let it go and was headed for the winner's circle.
He took off his top yet.
St. Michael said he didn't take off his warm up.
Larry used to come in the locker rooms. He'd be getting his ankles taped, and he'd say, "Hey, ball boy, run in and go find the scoring record in this building." He needed those kind of challenges.
He had accomplished every goal. We hadn't lost a game on the trip, and Larry told all of us players and the media too. Warren and I's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this with left-handed at least through three-quarters.
And it was at a time when McHale was still coming off the bench,
And so Larry scores his 6th point on a left-handed shot.
and I'll never forget him. McHale yells out,
And Mikhail goes, "Hey, Jerome, when do we start shooting right-handed?"
Telling the media and everybody play left-handed. And that's what, I think I mentioned this before in the past, that's what made Larry so dangerous. He could play right or left-handed, which made it very difficult for anybody to really guard him because you don't know which way he's going. You don't know how he's going to get the ball up or make that great pass. Just another part of Larry legend right there.
And at the end of three-quarters, and then get 27 points left-handed.
Jeez.
Well, left-handed is one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one.
He could hold all these things in his head during the game. So he'd have a shooting drill at the old Boston Garden.
4:30 in the afternoon. I was an early guy. I'd set up early. The garden would be dark.
Late in the afternoon by himself, dark garden, come out with an equipment guy and just do the perimeter, shoot for half hour. All you heard was swishing.
If he missed a shot during that thing, he'd say that the Bull Gang set up something wrong with the rim. Otherwise that would have gone in.
I'd get there early, plug in my Stone Age computer right next to the bench. He'd come over, he'd call me Scoop, say, "Scoop, what are you working on?" I'd say, "I'm doing an early story."
Then I'd say, "Well, I'm doing an early edition newspaper."
That's something about Larry. He was like in the gym all the time. He always worked on his game. That's what made him probably one of the best shooters in the league ever, especially with his clutch. But like I said before in the past, I know he's in there shooting shots and Magic shooting in the gym doing the same thing, and they're both pushing each other. I mean, that's what greatness is all about right there.
Story about your free throw streak.
You were approximating the NBA record for consecutive free throws, so don't miss one tonight or I'll look bad on the paper.
Sure enough, First half, he goes to the line for 2, and the foul line is lined up right where we're sitting if he looks over.
He's at the line. He makes the first.
He looks over and winks at me.
He looks over and winks at me before he makes the second. I mean, guys don't do that today. And he would
Always thinking about these things. It's like paying off a bet in the middle of the game. He was doing 2 things at once.
Well, you had the bird night.
I had the
in
bird
New
night.
Orleans.
Yeah, that was a tough night, man.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
But when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, it's in that game, we're on the free throw line, and he's like, he literally says,
"It's off the glass. Who's next? Where do you want this one from?" And he just made one after another, and he just tortured it mentally. That game, he tortured all of them.
I think Bird went by the bench one time too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, off the glass into the trainer. And,
No way.
Yeah.
His last shot, he said, in the trainer's lap, coming down the court. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Ricky bumps into him and he knocks him on our trainer's lap. So it was exactly what he said.
Antoine Carr.
I mean, that's when he played Atlanta, and he was calling all the shots and asking anybody to guard him to try to stop him during the game. I don't even think anybody does that. I mean, who would do that? Except for Larry Bird, because he was just that good.
And Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And
Oh yeah, and the bench was celebrating
Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
It was the greatest film session ever, because back then, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times.
And they show a shot of our bench. Cliff Livingston and Eddie Johnson are standing up giving each other high five.
I mean, everybody was entertained by this. Even the guys on the Atlanta bench.
They got 5 for that, I heard. Yeah.
Watch the reactions on the Atlanta bench.
You are so hot. You're so good that game, calling everything, and the bench is cheering for you, and that just shows how what greatness is all about right there. It shows how great Larry Bird was with his shooting and how hot he was that day.
You see Scotty Hastings laughing. Watch Cliff Levingston come over here. I think this is Cliff.
And Fratello wouldn't let it go. He just kept rewinding. Showing the guys, you remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah, that was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter, and Antoine Carr and Cliff gives each other high five. And our film session was 20 minutes of that. And, yeah, and so it was a bad night.
The first game against Larry Bird, it was shocking.
Dominique.
I go shake his hand, and he put both hands behind his back. And I'm saying, okay, he's getting his head ready to play. First play of the game, he says, "I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes." And he shoots a 3. I was pissed.
Who does that?
I said, I wasn't mad he hit the 3. But this called me Holmes. And so it set up for a really interesting game. Because I remember one time I came down and I dunked it on him. He landed on the ground. He fouled me, and I'm pointing. And he said, "Hey, Rook." I said, "What?" He said, "I like you. He said, you got balls, but I'm still going to get 30 on your ass."
Who says that in a
Yeah,
game?
about 38, so he kind of
Especially against
But I
Dominique
had to pay my
Wilkins.
dues. I wasn't upset about that because, back then, as a rookie, you got to pay your dues. Simple as that.
It was funny, the first time that I played in my rookie year, I guarded Larry Bird, and it took me about 10 minutes to realize I should be probably guarding him instead of staring at him.
Dan Marley.
And he came down, it was funny, he came down one time, and Mark West was the center on our team, and Larry looked at me, and then he looked at Mark, and he said, "Mark, I'm going to go down, I'm going to come off the screen, I'm going to catch it right there, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to shoot it in the rookie's face, and then I'm going to run down the floor." And that's exactly what he did.
Who does that?
And I'm sitting there, that just happened.
But did he talk to you, or you weren't
He
good
talked
enough?
through me. He never addressed me.
I love that.
Like I wasn't even there.
And did Mark West going,
Mark was like, "All right,
okay, yeah, all right.
probably will.
Hey,
Good
Mark.
luck."
And then he did.
He did it.
But
There was nothing I could do about it.
He backed up whatever he said. If he tell you going to hit a shot in a certain place, or if he going to take you down to the post, turn around, hit a fadeaway J, he going to.
There's that step back again that he had, and him and Dominique had some great duels, back in the day. But hearing all these different NBA players talking about how Larry calls his shot, how he goes and tells them what he's going to do, where he's going to shoot it at, and actually do it. That's amazing.
Do just that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
These guys came in together in '81. There's Kevin, there's Larry, there's Robert, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge. They knew what each other could do. And what I did was said, okay, let's see what's happening out there. And you'd see Larry shooting the three-pointer, and then I call a timeout, and they didn't count the three-pointer.
Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout.
It won't count. It does not count. Boston had called a timeout.
Larry came back to the bench, and he was a little upset.
So he's very upset with that. So I diagrammed the play. He says, heck with the play, Case. You guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot. I'm going to kick it in. Give me the ball and tell all the rest of the guys to get out of the way. I said, shut up, Larry. I'm the coach here. Okay. All right. Dennis, you take the ball out, give it to Kevin, then you throw it to Larry, and everybody get the hell out of the way.
Celtics.
Larry's almost like a player coach. I mean, he was literally telling the coach, give me the ball, and he went out and he did it. He made the shot the first time. It didn't count. Went back to the bench and told him to give him the ball again. He went out and did it and won the game.
They're down by 2 points, and Bird is out by the three-point line, and he's being guarded by a guy named Johnny High.
He goes down before the ball is thrown in, and he's standing right in front of the Phoenix bench, and he looks at all the guys on the bench and says,
yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a three on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this.
And he says, watch my hand as I follow through.
And, Johnny High sort of smiles and laughs about it.
And I was supposed to cut off the high post and post up for a second and then go across and set a pick. Well, I came off the pick and I was wide open and I stood there waiting for the ball. I had a smaller guy to post up and Larry just waved me out of the way saying, get out of here, get out of the way.
And then he just turns around and shoots a perfect three.
Wow. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. Running to the locker room.
As he continues on to the dressing room. Now, that's what you call arrogance.
That's what you call a legend.
And for that time, I learned to run Larry's play, not the coach's play.
He wanted the light on him. He wanted the focus, and he wanted that ball. And in case he would ever call somebody else's play, Larry would just say, no. I'm shooting this ball, and he would.
I get a charge when I tell someone on the opposing team that I want to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what
makes Larry so clutch, because he would actually want the ball in, money time situations when the game's on the line. He wants that ball. He thrives on that pressure. That's what made him great. That's what made him a legend. And I don't think there's anybody that even comes close to his clutch, period. I mean, like I said, Michael, maybe, but I mean, you had to learn through Bird before you could get to Michael, because Bird did it first and he was the best at it.
It's all about.
High game, 13 seconds to play. Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going through a play. And about that time, Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way?
Calling his own play.
If he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walk back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding. So he tells Xavier, I'm getting the ball.
I said, I know I'm going to be waiting. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
5, and Bird has the basketball. Look out. Larry Bird, just phenomenal the way that
he came out with about that exact spot and shot a shot right in my face. And, he was like, I didn't need to leave 2 seconds on the clock. And I walked back to the sideline like, damn.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people said, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles.
Reggie talked a lot of trash.
Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against. So we playing them the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over that corner. And I'm going to catch it, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or
DJ.
The late, great DJ.
Yeah.
You DJ coming down, right, with the ball.
Oh, man.
DJ, that's good. So pass it to Larry. He's in that corner. Now I got to go out and close Larry Bird up. So as I'm running out to Larry Bird, he's talking trash to me. I don't know why you're running out here. says that in the middle of the game? He said, I'm going to wait till you get one step away from me and I'm going to shoot it right in your face. So I got one step away. He shoots it all net. 3-pointer. Good.
Take the ball out, man throw right to the corner.
He does that.
Shot a three. Game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me?
And he turned to me and said, you did all that running for nothing.
And he was saying in such a calm way that you didn't think it was trash talking. But it's trash talking. You're not going to tell me you will go over there and shoot the ball in my face. That's trash talking. But he would tell you before the play even started. He'd tell you where he's going. He'd tell you when he catches it, nothing you can do about it. And it was great trash talking because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't pounding his chest. You can just be standing next to him. You know, I would jump out and try to block a shot on rotation. And he'd say, Scott, you jump high, but you don't jump that high. You can't get this. Scott, you're a little too late. Scott, you're not getting that. Why are you even jumping?
He told so many players everything that he was going to do, and he did it. You couldn't stop this guy at all. I don't think you could. Only way you could stop it is if you missed, and that's very, very seldom.
Running out of it. But it was all game.
He'd say something like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, he talked the whole game, and it was, you know, after the game and after years of thinking about it, you're like, man, that dude's why he's one of the greatest players ever played.
He was ridiculous. He came. Our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game because he did everything: points, rebounds, assists, just steals.
Couldn't
you name
stop
it.
this guy.
Larry has such a great mind for the game. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
That competitive nature, the work ethic, because I asked a lot of questions. You know, playing with Byron Scott, I asked him a lot of questions. Eddie Jones, Magic, James Worthy, Kurt Rambis, all the.
That's the thing about Kobe. Kobe wanted to evolve. He wanted to learn. He wanted to know the history. He wanted to know what people were feeling, footwork. That's what made Kobe great. Because he wanted to learn, and he wanted to evolve and make himself better.
Baker greats, I would always sit down and just ask him questions. What actually happened there? What did you feel there? Why? You know, Bird tough to defend. Why? Because he looked slow as shit to me. So like, I'm missing something. So like, tell me what I'm missing. You know what I mean?
You know, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, you know, a lot of my friends was like that, you know. So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, you know, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. Whatever you were saying, for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah, I never forget driving, and I'm listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the streets from El Paso, and I went to UTEP, and we're big rivalries. So I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird? Bird. You know, here's Bird. And Bird this. And Bird. Oh, did you see the pass that Bird made? I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. When the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn. Larry, it wasn't you. You know, be honest with you. The young lady that said you were her favorite player, mine too. I love you too, Magic, but not as much as I like Bird.
People always talk about great basketball players, and they don't never mention him to be up in that round. But Larry Bird was cold. I don't think nobody ever could get out with him. You ask Magic. That's why Magic had a run, and he was mad when he had to retire in '92 because of what he was going to be missing with Larry Bird. And then you remember Larry Bird took 2 more years, and then he quit because he said his main guy who he wanted to play against is gone.
I'm going to tell this story. We're in LA, and I'm hurt. I got a pulled hamstring, so I'm not playing tonight. So I can't play against the Celtics. You know, I'm killing myself. You know, Larry's warming up. The anthem is sung, and
And Magic Johnson was probably just as good as Larry Bird because those two guys pushed each other so hard, and that's what made their team so great.
Get introduced, and right before they go out on the court, Larry comes down and says, "You know what? Since you here, I'm gonna put a show on for you."
So you just sit back and watch, okay? Don't worry. I'm going to put a show on for you. And I'm like, man, get out of my face, man.
I wouldn't like that either.
You know, this Celtics and the Lakers. And he went out. I think he scored 38 points, about 20 rebounds, about 15 assists. And every shot he would shoot, he would turn to me. Every time he hit one, he'd look at me. And I said, boy, you know, the thing about it that I love about you is that most guys talk trash and can't back it up. But Mr. Bird, you know you can back your trash talking up. And last but not least,
so good.
I'm going to say this because you told me one lie. You only told me one lie in your career. Only one. And you only lied to the fans and all the people in the world one time. Do you know what that lie was? You don't remember, do you? Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. And so
that's pretty much facts right there. There will be another Larry. There will be no more Larry Bird. I mean, he's just one of a kind. That's made him so great. Made him so hard to defend.
This is mine, and I signed it to you, to the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever. I love you. I respect you.
That was Larry Bird's stories that proved he was the best trash talker. He talked a lot of trash, that's for sure. You couldn't stop him. I mean, he beat everybody in the 80s, everybody. Jordan didn't even beat him. Magic did beat him, won the finals, but I mean, he beat everybody. And the way he could talk trash and do it, it's incredible. I mean, a lot of people, like say, can talk trash, can't back it up, but he could. You seen all the different NBA players talk, and he could literally talk the trash, back it up, and you couldn't stop it. I mean, I don't even think you like I said before in the past, he has no weaknesses. You couldn't stop him. He shot with both hands. He would definitely, get the double team, and then he could always find an open guy in the lane or near the basket. That's what made him great. So I think he's very underrated as a basketball player. I think that he's probably one right up there next to Jordan, if not above Jordan, because he was so great at what he did. Yeah, Jordan got better later in his career after Larry retired. Then he took off from there. But before that, I mean, it was either Magic or Larry, and Larry was just amazing. I just want to thank everybody for hanging around here watching the video with me. I hope everyone had a great Saturday today, enjoying the weekend. If you like to subscribe, please do so. I'm going to try to pop out some more videos. I really enjoyed this. It was fun to do. And I hope to see you on the next one.